Hello and a very good morning. Well, elections are over, the results are out, and the results certainly show winners. There are many winners. And as we talk about winners, we can't forget about Manipur as well. Since yesterday, many people have written to me reminding me of my promise. What about Tamal, about your promise? What about your guarantee? When are you coming back to Manipur to interview? Well, just bear with the technical glitches. And so it is a special morning as I am joined by Professor Bimol. Professor Bimol, or should I call the winner Bimol? Very, very good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Tamal.
How does it sound? Winner Bimol.
I don't change much, but it's only I have two feelings that I'm happy at one level, the things that I wanted to do. Now, so I think the opportunity is now here. One part, I have
Professor
this
Bimol,
tremendous sense of responsibility. That's what I feel at the moment.
Professor Bimol Akoijam had maintained a very low key as far as the political campaigning is concerned. And to give a background to all our viewers, why is Manipur significant? Because this is the same Manipur which had erupted in violence on 3rd of May 2023, and the violence had lasted for over almost a year. And in these 365 days and more, only once we had heard Prime Minister Narendra Modi speak about Manipur, and that too inside the parliament in response to the no confidence debate. And thereafter, Union Home Minister Amit Shah, when he came down to Manipur for election campaigning, he called Prime Minister Narendra Modi mitra of Northeast and mitra of Manipur. There are two seats in Manipur, Inner Manipur and Outer Manipur. BJP has lost both these seats. So Manipur has certainly said loud and clear who is mitra of Manipur. Would you agree, Professor Bimol Akoijam? Has Manipur made a choice as who is the mitra of Manipur?
Yeah, I think I will go with your assessment. I mean, it is the rhetorics versus the reality, the kind of treatment that the people of the state subjected to in the last 1 year. I think people have spoken out.
Would you call this a mandate of Manipur on the arrogance of government which has stayed silent on Manipur
Yeah,
issue?
absolutely, absolutely. That the overwhelming, mandate from across the different terrains and the communities in the state, loud and clear, that the people of the state cannot be taken for granted, and nobody should dare to challenge the integrity and self-respect of politically, historically evolved state for Manipur people, and is contributed in the cultural, intellectual, as well as sporting life of the nation. A state that, despite its small population, has contributed gallantry award-winning commanders, and three-star generals in the Indian Army and all of that one, and in the manner in which the state was subjected to by the Indian state, I think the people have spoken out against that.
It also reflects the aspiration of Manipur as what Manipur wants. While everybody's spoken about the divide in Manipur, both Meiteis, Kukis, and every other community have made a choice. They have unitedly defeated BJP and the
Absolutely
allies.
right. Yes. So, right, that's what I said. If anybody says the contribution of the state to the national life, be that sports or the defense services or intellectual life or cultural life, Despite the small populations, we have been a significant part in the national affairs, and yet, this state, which is historically evolved geopolitical entity, has been subjected to such uh, that has never happened anywhere in this country. And the fact that across different terrains and across different communities, the political dispensation which have spearheaded that kind of a treatment has been defeated with unprecedented margin that you can see both in the outer as well as inner parliament.
Well, yes, in Anil Manipur, inner Manipur Lokasabha constituency, you won Professor Bimol Akoijam, and in outer Manipur constituency, it was Alfred Kangnam Arthur who defeated
Yeah,
the
Alfred.
BJP NPP NPF alliance.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the victory now. I know it has not been an easy one, but if you have to reflect upon the victory, how is the hindsight, Professor Bimal Akoijam? How is the hindsight?
Tamal, actually, I had this sense. I was also checking, if you remember, before the election, uh, one of the decisions when I've taken to join the election, what I have shared with my wife, for instance, I said I wanted to see how my people feel. And instead of worrying about my state sitting as an academic, as a citizen, getting frustrated and disappointed, it's better to join and see how my people responded. And if it's worth defending, is Manipur still worth defending or not? I wanted to check it myself. And then again, I have this sense that yes, people are still alive despite forces to try to suppress. I could campaign on. And at the end of the day, I would like to stand up against those people who try to intimidate you. I knew that there is a way. However, I was looking at how strong is that feeling. I knew that there was a feeling among the people, all that is the degree or the extent of that resistance. And the kind of mandate we get it, that shows very clearly that Manipur is alive and kicking. Its soul is still alive and nobody can suppress it. And that's the mandate. And it's a clear message to anybody who tries to destroy the state and who try to humiliate the people of the state that you cannot do that. That's a statement. This is not my victory, it's the victory of the people of the state across communities, including in inner parliamentary constituencies. Remember that we have both scheduled tribes and non-scheduled tribe populations in electorates and significant numbers. And we have different communities, including people from the so-called mainstream who have made Manipur their homes. Many of them also voted, and I think this is a clear message from the people of the state across community. And don't take us for granted.
Professor Akoijam, in the past 1 year, we have seen allegations, counter allegations. Well, Congress had said that double engine Sarkar had failed Manipur, squarely holding evidencing government responsible for the violence and the failure of the central government equally responsible for the violence which started and that continued unabated. On the other hand, BJP had said that it was a handiwork of Congress, that Congress had tried deepening the state. But now, beyond these allegations and counter allegations, both the hills and the plains have two MPs belonging to the same political party, that is Congress. That makes your job much more uh, significant. Is possibly now incumbent on both the Congress MPs to unite two parts of Manipur. Are you ready for that, Professor Akoijam?
I said it at the beginning of my campaign, and before I even joined this electoral politics, I have always, stood for a united Manipur where every community and citizen can live with dignity and sense of well-being. That has been my position much before I joined electoral politics. During my campaign, I also insisted that the thing, and I would be working all my life, irrespective of whether I am in politics, this kind of politics or otherwise. Uh, that the desire for peace and coexistence is there, except for a few, elements, trying to instigate and fracture the state, despite the different aspirations, like any other multi-cultural group in this country, with aspirations, democracy gives you that platform to negotiate and to deal with these differences in aspirations. But there are other aspects that we will be working on, which is the common good, cutting across every across different communities, not only in this state but across the country. And one should be able to work for that common good as well, while respecting each other's specific aspiration. And those aspirations should not come in the way of looking for common good. I think that's a principle which is equally true for the state of Manipur as well as the rest of the country. And by the
So
way, when you
Professor
said
Akoijam
about
is saying that
blaming the whole that, I mean, kuch bhi, and that's the expression in Hindi, kuch bhi, they can say anything they want. They are running the government both at the center and in Nepal. Everybody knows across the globe that they have not been able to rein in the violence, and they're just trying to deflect their failure on the others. And you will start blaming on the mouse for the floods. You will start blaming, for earthquake on Congress party. You will start blaming for a bus accident on Congress party. They can go on doing that thing. The fact will remain that the Indian state has failed to rein in the violence, and who's running the affair of the state for the last few years. It's been BJP government both at the in Delhi as well as here in Imphal. So I think it's not only about party politics. One should be honest to accept one's own failure, and this is the suffering of the people should be dealt beyond the party politics.
Professor Akoijam, I wanted to ask this, very specific question. When you say that you all would be respecting the aspirations of the people of Manipur, aspirations of the youth of Manipur, would the aspiration quotient be the unifying factor? Because I want to ask you this very straight question. What would be the roadmap as far as two MPs of Congress are concerned, Professor Akoijam and Alfred Earther? What would you both do to unite people on the aspiration quotient of the youth and the other people of Manipur, be it plains and the hills?
See, like I said, we have to have a common good first. The law and order, to have a law and order situation restored, the rule of law to work is in the interest of every community and every citizen. We must ensure that. Second, economic development. There are huge unemployment and infrastructures, backwardness in the state, and rampant and institutionalized corruptions. All these things should be the common issues across communities. Parochial ethnic identities and politics based on those identities should not dominate and should not come in the way of addressing these common issues. Rule of law, economic issues, and different kinds of aspirations that our youth have. These are the common issues that cut across communities. This is where I think Alfred and me, and even I would request all the politicians belonging to other parties should agree at least on these common issues and be together.
Well, when you talk about common issues, Professor Bimol Akoijam, when you talk about common issues, is illegal immigration an important issue? How will you highlight that with the central government? How will you take it up with the state government? And what is the roadmap that you would suggest? Because I clearly remember in the previous interview that I've had yours, you said that you are there for all. not all cookies are not illegal immigrants. Those were your words. So, what is the roadmap? You and Mr. Arthur, how do you plan to bring about people understand what for them, and how do you ensure that when you take a serious measure, it doesn't backfires?
See, that is what I suspect that there are some people who try to create fissure in society, and I truly believe that those people who are, if the patriots who love the state and the country will never try to create such kind of feature in society. And those people who come from outside the country, those foreign elements will not have that kind of a sentiment, is my assumptions. I think this is a reasonable assumption that the people of this country and those people who belong to Manipur will not think of destroying the state. Only those people who do not have an affiliation with this country and Manipur will have that one. And that is the same thing I said. It is important to distinguish citizens from the non-citizens, internationally acceptable and
Well,
ethically sound way of dealing with foreign elements, but we need to distinguish them. That's my position. But you don't call your fellow citizens as foreigners. I'm clear on this. I think on that basis, I would pursue a peaceful, united Manipur where everybody can live with a sense of dignity and well-being.
Professor Akoijam, it's a very significant thing that you say that I would reach out for an united Manipur. And this mandate of people clearly shows even they want unity.
Yeah,
If
that's
they
true.
were happy with the status quo of divide,
Yeah,
the results would have been otherwise. Because
yeah,
people on both sides have suffered. I've seen it myself. Be it the
yes.
Maitis or Cookies, and to a great extent the Pangals, the Nagas, even they have suffered.
Yeah, Kamal,
So
if
this
I
is a
interrupt,
mandate of Manipur against the status quo of divide.
you see, Kamal, if I recollect from my experience of studying conflict, whatever we wanted to resolve an issue of this nature, the starting premise is to realize that on both sides of the communities there are perpetrators as well as victims. One should not peddle with the story that one community is the victim and another community is the perpetrator. What I've learned from the stories, from the studies in partition, what differentiates us from the Nazi experience in Europe, this awareness that both perpetrators and victims are found on both the communities, in Muslims as well as in Hindus.
Professor Akoijam, I can't see you. Well, Professor Akoijam, I think something happened with his network. Well, we are trying to ensure that he reconnects. But it's, just to sum up as what Professor Akoijam is saying, that if there are foreign elements, if there are elements who are trying to stoke indifference and divide, they should be identified, because in the interest of the people and peace and harmony, people have to come together and understand the common interest of Manipur. And the common interest of Manipur is and has to be peace of Manipur. And when he's, when he talks about united Manipur, it is very, very assuring, because leaders from both sides have to ensure that people realize what is good for them, because status quo of violence and this status quo of unrest cannot continue. So essentially,
Sorry, Tamal,
I
I
see
lost
Professor
you.
Akoijam is back. No problem.
Tamal, yeah, sorry, I got lost in between.
I was saying that
No worry.
the
It's absolutely fine, Professor Akoijam, to lose your way as long as you know how to find your way back.
okay. Metaphorically, I've got you again. So I think it is. Anyway, what I was saying is,
I want people, yeah, please continue.
okay. What I was saying is that one should not peddle with a story that one community is the victim and the other is the perpetrator. And one must realize that there are victims as well as perpetrators on both sides. Once you recognize this truth, then peace can begin. As long as you insist that one community is the perpetrator and the other is the victim, as long as you do that, that is the source of conflict. Anybody who wants to destroy Manipur and create chaos in society will battle with that kind of a story. And I was trying to distinguish the experience in Nazi Germany and the partition violence in South Asia. You know, why we are able to reconcile and the violence, the response to violence is different in South Asia. Scholars have said that in South Asia's experience, unlike the Nazi experience, both the communities realize that there are perpetrators as victims on both sides. And I think that is the first thing that I will try to press upon to everyone in order to start a journey towards peace. And you should remember that there can be no peace without justice. Aspirations of the people must be addressed. And when I say people and communities, remember that the so-called majority Meiteis have also historically grounded grievances and sense of injustice that must also be addressed, just as any other communities in the states. We do have a lot of legitimate concerns of these communities. One cannot brush aside those aspiration and concern as well. One should be honest enough to accept these different aspirations and sense of injustices held by people. One must be able to address that as honestly as openly as one can. I think that is my principal position, and I intend to pursue it as a representative of my people.
Professor Akoijam, you, you almost scripted history into politics from activism, fought it absolutely on yourself. No major central leadership phase came to campaign for you because it was an internal decision that it will be a low-key affair, especially for what Manipur has seen in the past 1 year. And thereafter, a result of this kind. Are you happy now?
Yeah, yeah, I'm happy, for one reason also. I was told that this is the first time that, a margin of 1 lakh is crossed when one debates. And that too in a small state like that, it means a lot. And even you go by first post, fast post kind of system, the vote that we got is more than 51% of the total poll vote. And I think it is clear mandate in that sense. Majority of the people who have voted uh, has endorsed our position, and I think I'm very happy, and I have the people's will behind me to pursue that kind of a political project, which to ensure everybody enjoys dignity and well-being in my home state and beyond. I mean, I'm not going to be only an MP for Manipur, quite obviously. What happened in the national level, my own, small things like my own institution, KNU, or issues that happen far away in Kashmir or in Kerala, those are also part of my concern. I think I should be able to be part of that process in our largest democracy in the world. I think that's the kind of thing that I have in my mind.
Professor Akoijam, did Rahul Gandhi or Gandhi or Priyanka Gandhi or Mallikarjun Kharge or KC Venugopal, have any one of them reached out to you to congratulate
Not
you?
as yet.
Have you had a chance to speak to them?
Not as yet. During the campaign, I talked to Chidambaramji for a while on certain issues. Except for that, After the elections, I have not had any conversation. This has been almost like an internal family affair here with our CLP leader, former CM Igobi, and Deputy CLP and party leaders. All of us have been in touch, and we have very dynamic young MLAs in our assembly. I think we have already made, and we all will be doing together something. Watch out for something that Manipur has never seen. I think I can promise that much. It's not going to be a miracle, and everything will not be changed all of a sudden, but the process of change, you will begin to sense it in the days to come. I'm not the only one. You can trust me. I'm not the only one. There are lots and lots of even politicians who have been experienced. They have been longing for this moment to express themselves more freely. I think we are beginning a new chapter in Manipur history.
I hope so. I hope so, Professor Akoijam. I really hope so that peace comes back to Manipur. And when I say that you lose your way, but as long as you know you find your way to come back home, you are not lost and you are certainly forgiven. I hope Manipur finds its way back to peace. I love this state
Thank
so
you, sir.
so much, and the people across either side of the of that divide. I'm sorry to say it, but then there is a divide.
Yes, that's okay. We have to accepting the
Profe-
fact in front of us is important.
Professor Akoijam, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, throughout his campaign, kept on saying M for Machli, M for Mutton, M for Musalman, M for Mughal, M for Mansutra, M for Mujra. Has India really responded to BJP, to Prime Minister Modi with this mandate that it has to be and has to be and has to be M for Manipur and Manipur alone?
I know there in the national issues. I think we are sensing that beginning, and not everything can be taken for granted in this country. Despite all those exit polls, you see our party leaders have taken a firm stand that these exit polls are not going to be reflected in the result on fourth. I think it has proven right. People are talking about 370 and 400 and stuff like that. The reality is in front of me. I think my former colleague and friend Yogendra Yadav's assessment was pretty right at one level. I think his predictions of NDA crossing the majority and BJP not reaching 250 or not, all those things are turns out to be very right. And as a professional academic, I feel quite disappointed because I was associated as a faculty at CSDS before I joined JNU. And our institution has done long studies on this elections and the scientific method that one uses. I the trust of the people on scientific method, institutions. I think we must work for restoring trust in institutions and even systematic research work. I give so sad of this exit poll, because I was associated with that institution called CSDF for 9 years. It's sad.
Professor Akwicham, I'm losing you. I hope you come back. Professor Akwijam, are you still there with me? Okay, we are. I'm sure he would come back, viewers. I know you have been keenly waiting for this interview, and all my friends from Manipur. I know you all have been waiting for this interview, so I'm hoping he would come back shortly. So just bear with us for 1 minute, and I'm sure he's also trying to come back because I have got some plans. You all have made certain requests, and you know what you saw in the interview that you did last time. The way he end. Okay, Professor Akujam is back. Professor Akujam, very quickly before the network ditches us once again.
All right.
BJP called you Tukre Tukre gang.
I
Today
know.
NDA is forming with alliances. Yani Tukre Tukre government.
I don't know. This kind of a phrase is one of the most unfortunate vocabulary ever introduced in Indian politics. And I hope that people learn and then abandon this kind of expressions. I told you that during the Quit India movement, the right wing as well as the left wing did not join, but Mahatma Gandhi or anybody of that time did not call them Destrohi or enemy of the nation. They didn't do that. I think you may have political differences, and one should be clear that one political difference doesn't mean that one is an anti-national or stuff like that. And they call me to again because of my institutional affiliation. But we must not forget, JNU is a unique institution and its contribution to the national life is tremendous. I think that must be respected. I think so. These kind of expressions should be abandoned, and I think sooner the better. And one should learn to accept political differences. And we should also be able to work together on common issues. I think that is what democracy demands, parliamentary, especially parliamentary democracy demands.
Professor Akwijam, now that Congress has once again become stronger in Manipur, it is clear, will there be any attempt on part of Congress to have a change of government in the state of Manipur
This is not the
before the
party's
completion
effort. I
of tenure
suppose
of
that
N. Biren Singh?
people, the pressure of the people will be felt by the government if they have corrected themselves and if they adjust, and possibly their survival chances will increase. And if they do not change it, I suppose that their legitimacy will be gone, and probably in a few in the coming days, one might see a change in our state as well.
But Professor Akwijam, you skirted my. Is there a possibility of midterm election in Manipur? Is there a possibility of members who are part of BJP switch sides, join Congress, and give Congress a chance to govern at the state level
You
for the
know,
sake of
my
the
feeling is
interest of
that
Manipur?
people will
Will there
not.
be any attempt?
It's not a question of Congress attempting two things. I said it will be the pressure of the people will be felt, and we would be and we should be very careful of party hoppers. And I think the new political culture will not demand, but it's like any other confessional vote. If they confess the mistakes and the errors that they've made, and those, especially those people who have uh, commitment, genuine commitment to the state, depending on people's mood. And I think all that I can say is that a change in the dispensation cannot be ruled out in the days to come in Manipur.
All right, I think that's the headline. That's the headline of the entire conversation. Professor Akwijam, for the people of Manipur, and on behalf of them, if I can ask you this question as a common citizen, as a common voter, who elect people's representative, will you be spending more time in Imphal and Manipur, or you will be shuttling between Delhi and Imphal?
Yeah, this will be, see, I have a professional engagement before, that's why I couldn't, I would be able to spend more time back home, and I'll be in Delhi. So my visit in Manipur will be longer and more, and I find intend to recover the lost time in the last 40 years of my life to here in my home state. I'll try to recover as much as possible in the next 5 years.
Well, Professor Akoijam, it's always a pleasure talking to you. And you have promised me a treat with the traditional Manipuri food. Tell me when should I come for that?
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. You can talk about it. I'll be there in Delhi for a couple of days. Then I'll be back here in Manipur, and that you can come along with me when the next.
Well, I can tell you this much, Professor Akoijam. I will be accepting the treat the day I come to Manipur just to have just to spend some leisure time, and I don't have to report on anything untoward. As I said, I almost see Manipur as my second home. I love the people of Manipur. Only when you and your friends and counterparts on the other side and the state government of Manipur bring peace to a point that I come there not to report anything on Manipur but to spend some quality time, I will be accepting that treat. But not before that, Professor Akoijam. And before I end it, last time we ended on a musical note. कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना. If you're thinking you
You
won't
when you
because of that
visit
song.
me next time, I'll give you a full list of one Kishore's number and one Rafi's number and probably a Scorpio number as well when you visited. And I don't want to confuse that. I keep it for a special day between you and me.
That's between us. That's between us. The viewers would kill me if I don't make a request before you for two lines.
No,
Two
forgive
lines,
me
just two
today.
lines.
I
Let's
said,
end the conversation on a
Tamal,
musical
we
note.
will do it next time.
Okay, I can't insist. Well, if that means I have to meet you very soon and meet you in person, either in
Okay.
Delhi or in Imphal. And
Please do that. Please
Professor
do that.
Akoija, many congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Enjoy the tree, enjoy the moment, and I'll see you very soon.
Okay. Thank you, Tamal. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much, Professor. Thank you so much, Professor Akoijam. For all our viewers, and especially viewers from Manipur, know this. This is Tamal Saha. I don't, I don't, and don't take my words for granted, and I do not take my promises for granted. I do not take people of Manipur for granted. I do not take people of my country, India, for granted. As I said before, and I would always say, Manipur is India, India is Manipur. Doesn't matter if I'm Delhi, doesn't matter I'm in Kolkata, doesn't matter I'm in Mumbai. I'm never too far from Imphal or Churachandpur or Kangpokpi. I'm never too far from Manipur. For all the trust that you people have given, I'm ever and ever indebted to you all. And to all our viewers across the country, it's a sincere request. Help us grow. Do like, share, and subscribe. While internet and betray us with these glitches, this Tamal Saha will never betray you. Team Entity will never betray you. We are there for you, and we are always there on the ground. So help us grow. Do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, Professor Akoijam. Thank you so much, Professor Akoijam. And so, as I was saying, internet can give you glitches, can betray you with glitches. Tamal Shah and Team Entity will never betray you. We will always be there on the ground and thus help us grow. Do like, share, and subscribe, and be with us. Thank you so much for watching this live broadcast. We will be back once again with interviews, ground reports, and special stories. We are not taking a break, even though you are tired. Thank you so much.